man! Nanamo is too good for the city. Sweet potato. Sweet potato indeed, the sweetest of the taters. I am most eager to address the Ascian threat. However, we dare not neglect our other pressing concerns. We both know full well that Saint Shiva will not be the last primal we face, and our relationship with Ishgard is still tenuous at best. To think that the resolution of the primal threat was once the sole priority of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, some days I wonder if it was wise for us to take on so many other responsibilities. Somebody's gotta fix this world, Minfilia. Lest you forget, Antecedent, the Scions need not shoulder the burden alone. We're not the Crystal Braves established for this very reason. True, we are presented with a multitude of problems. However, we have all the resources we need to address them in turn. Torque in particular is ever a steadying hand, who I trust will continue to support the Braves. To what do we owe the pleasure? Have there been further developments regarding the situation in Ul'dah? As expected, the Immortal Flames have been struggling to cope with the revelation that one of their highest-ranking officers was a Garlean agent. Suffice it to say, Teleji Adeleji and his monetarist ilk have wasted no time in attempting to turn the situation to their advantage. Coupled with ongoing unrest, the Flames are finding themselves hard-pressed. Plainly, General Raban needs our help, and I will direct the Crystal Braves to offer what support they can. If I am to stay abreast of the latest developments and issue effective orders, however, I cannot afford to waste time traveling back and forth. And so, for the foreseeable future, I think it would be for the best if I were to remain in Ul'dah, unless you have an objection. None whatsoever. We have matters here well in hand. Moenbryda's research is proceeding as planned. So she tells me, though I am not familiar with the details. Urianger is poring over his tomes at the Waking Sands, and the others are contributing in their own ways. Alas, the key problem, how to form an ethereal blade at will, remains unsolved. Nevertheless, it is only a matter of time. Torque, while we focus on that task, mayhap you could assist Alfie and his Braves with theirs. It would do much to restore faith in the Immortal Flames if the Warrior of Light was seen working on their behalf. I feel like we're forgetting to go check on the Keeper of the Lake. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like that could be a more pressing matter. And I just feel like me just going over to Ul'dah for shits and giggles. I feel like we should. I don't. The lake's right there. We just take a little walk to the lake. Are we sure? Are we sure? Never forget that your esteemed status allows you to act in ways that those more tightly bound to the organizations and nations cannot. As ever, I implore you to do so. Okay, but not that your response was ever in doubt, but I humbly thank you once more for aiding our cause. I'm just saying, like, there's rumors that you could have a Big Daddy dragon being revived, and we're just not going to look into it. Even though it's right on our doorstep. And we had someone who was probably touched by the crystal who became a primal and then not a primal anymore, also said to go check out the lake. And I feel like I feel like that's an important thing for us to go do. Am I wrong for thinking that we should go do that? It feels weird that is not more of a priority for us. Now then, there are preparations I must attend to before my departure, such as receiving Riel's latest report. He has proven to be quite skilled at gathering information others wish kept secret, hence why I placed him under my direct command and ordered him to investigate the Ul'dah riots. When you are finished here, join me outside. Depending on what he has to say, I may soon have a favor to ask. If there are any developments on our front, I shall inform you at once in the usual fashion. Like, we have the potential for me to go to the lake and have an echo vision. It feels kind of, it feels a little silly that that's not a higher priority. Pleasure as always, Torque. You'll be escorting the commander to Ul'dah, I take it? Actually, I had another task in mind for him. If you would be so kind as to repeat your report for his benefit. Right then. Me and mine have been making inquiries into the source of the weapons what found their ways into refugee hands a ways back. Yeah. So happens we caught wind of something promising, a rather large purchase of sharp and pointy things by a black marketeer holed up near Highbridge. I doubt that this man would have secured such a quantity of weapons if he did not already have clients waiting, clients that for whatever reason would prefer for this transaction to remain secret. Brings to mind that merchant what caught an arrow while talking to Twerk, don't it? A generous fellow he was, doling out swords and spears to the downtrodden and disgruntled. Which isn't to say that these clients had the same mischief in mind, but if you want to be sure, it might be prudent to intervene before they collect their goods. Savvy? Seizing the weapons before they fall into the wrong hands would be for the best. However, if we strike at the appointed hour, we might capture the black marketeer as well as his clients. What say you, Twerk? Let me just pop over to the lake real quick, please. Then it is settled. Rendezvous with Captain Ilbert at Highbridge and intervene when the exchange takes place. Now then, if you would excuse me, I must leave for Ul'dah. I expect good tidings. As you can see, this is a fine mess. When I tried to restrain him, he drew a hidden blade and lashed out, but before I could disarm him, one of my subordinates panicked, and this is the result. How foolish of me to underestimate the bastard and to bring an inexperienced recruit. Commander Leveilleur will be most disappointed. Damn it all, golden opportunity wasted. As for the clients, though we know not how they slipped past our perimeter, at present the first is currently tracking a party of dusk white sellswords we suspect may be them. Would that we could have enlisted the aid of the immortal flames or the brass blades. Alas, we're here to aid them. They're in no position to aid us. The Crystal Braves, that first unit be slacking a little bit, Ilby. I'm not gonna lie. The first unit is slacking a bit. Well, at the very least, we have secured the weapons, yet even that accomplishment is lacking, for the information we received indicated a massive shipment, and this is anything but. Things are little. The Crystal Braves need some better training. A gift of weapons from a certain black marketeer, courtesy of Captain Ilbert, you say? Understood. Once we've cataloged the contents, I'll have them delivered to the Hall of Flames. This cannot be everything, can it? Riol stated with confidence that there would be a far greater quantity of weapons. A blatant falsehood. Clearly, Riol is unfamiliar with the ways of Ul'dah merchants, who ever strive to present themselves as greater than they are. We should be thankful that his information was not completely erroneous and that we managed to achieve anything of worth at all. Or maybe we just... I don't know. Still something worth celebrating, isn't it, Lieutenant? Besides, we've got more important things to worry about, like fighting those Garleans up north. Wilred, comment. Cool it. There'll be no fighting if I have anything to say about it. Our orders are to stand watch, not to seek glory in battle. Yeah. If you have no further need of us, then I shall take my unit to the Cerulean processing plant. Ah, okay. Time for the fourth to earn their keep, eh? Fight well, Alien, for the freedom of all. For the freedom of all. Excellent work as always, my friend. Rest assured that the immortal flames will hear of your contribution until we meet again. Yeah. Yeah. Twerk, a word if it please you. Not here. Look for me at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. No need for whistling this time. Don't you worry. We're gonna have a talk here, I believe. I feel like. Thanks for indulging me request. Few places better than the market for privacy, I find. All the hustle and the bustle of commerce means more conversations go unnoticed. I'll get to the point. At the Burning Wall, when you and the captain interrupted the exchange, what happened? Tell me everything. Leave no detail out. That's not quite how the first told it. These Dusk Whites they were chasing, latest word is that we've lost the trail. But you never saw them yourself? Not before the fighting started, not after? No. Something ain't right. I don't know what it is, but I can feel it in my bones. I'm not daft enough to be misled by some merchant's drunken boast. Our information was reliable, goddammit. I know he purchased those weapons. I've never deciphered a moneylender's book or had to follow a transaction back to its source. Did plenty of that back when the Braves were getting started. Believe me, the commander wanted assurances that we weren't taking gil from the wrong sort of benefactors. course, these days the money flows like water, and the first and third get the shiniest new toys. Forgive me, friend. I have a lot on my mind these days, and I appreciate you lending an ear. Right then, best get back to it. Yeah, something's fishy. Something's fishy. I don't know how much I trust Captain Ilbert at the moment. Tataru, Torque, can you hear me? This is Tataru. Hey, Tataru. Your presence is urgently requested at the Rising Stones. Please come and see me as soon as you're able. Oh, everything's okay.
We have a guest from Ishgard who wishes to speak with you.
Moi?
I believe the two of you have met.
Lady. God, the armor is just so cool. It reminds me a bit of in Elden Ring, Dialos. Dialos. Oh, what's the house name? I forget the house. But it reminds me of his armor. You see him in the Round Table Hold. You see him in the manor, Rykard's manor. Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of that armor.
We have. I had hoped to speak with Commander Leveilleur as well, but I cannot afford to wait any longer.
Uh-oh, something's wrong.
The Lord Commander sent me hither to request your aid in a matter of grave import.
Mm-hmm.
You see now why I had Tataru summon you.
Oh, you did? Alright, so you said Tataru. Minfilia says Tataru. I feel better that I called her Tataru for a long time, and then kind of started calling her Tataru, but now I'm gonna go back to Tataru because that's what Moenbryda calls her.
Now that we're all assembled, perhaps you would be good enough to elaborate on the nature of the matter which brought you to us.
Mm-hmm.
The Observatorium's astrologians have sounded the alarm.
Mm-hmm.
Last night, the Dragonstar burned with an intensity not seen in 15 summers.
Oh, and 15 years ago is when Midgardsormr went down with the ship.
Not since the Dravanians engaged the Empire in the Battle of Silvertear Skies.
Uh-huh.
The northern sky doth burn full bright upon the Wormlord's call. The red behemoth beckoneth, and flame consumeth all.
The old Curthan rhyme, aye.
Mm-hmm. It does rhyme, yes.
The brightening of the Dragonstar is said to accompany the roar of a great worm. The astrologians believe that it was Midgardsormr himself who cried out on this occasion.
After an absence of centuries, the King of Kings did return to lead his kind against the might of Garlemald, only to fall in his duel with the Agrius, proud flagship of the Garlean fleet. Devoid of life, his corpse remaineth entwined about the Magitech monstrosity even unto this day.
Ariange has the right of it. Whatever this alteration in the Dragonstar portends, the Great Worm has shown no sign of life. Tataru, have the Domans reported aught out of the ordinary?
Okay, so the Domans have been watching.
Correct me if
The
I'm
lake.
wrong, but
Okay.
if Midgardsormr had roared, wouldn't we have heard it here in Revenant's Toll?
That's something I really wish they would have clarified as to why we didn't get into this earlier, that the Domans have been watching the lake. Got it.
Roar is but a figure of speech. Dravanians can communicate in ways beyond our ken. It is for this very reason that we are forced to look for signs in the heavens. We cannot say with any confidence that a great worm roared at all, much less that it was Midgardsormr. Only by directly examining the Keeper of the Lake can we be certain. However, it will take too long to gain the Holy See's approval to dispatch the Temple Knights.
But what is the Keeper of the Lake? Who is the Keeper of the Lake? I feel like that hasn't been talked about yet.
Therefore, Sir Emric would entrust this task to you. Do you accept?
Yes, I've been itching to do this. Yes, please.
We knew you would not disappoint us. Now, if you would excuse me, I must return and assist the Lord Commander. We have precious little time to prepare.
To prepare for what, pray tell?
Yeah.
When a great worm roars, his brethren cannot choose but answer. We prepare for battle.
Oh, I got chills on that one. The way the music cut out, we prepare for battle. Forgive me if I state aught which you already know, but I would ensure that you understand the nature of your destination. Yes, what is the Keeper of the Lake? As Eorzea stated, what we now call the Keeper of the Lake is the wreckage of the Agrius, okay, former flagship of the Imperial fleet, and the corpse of the worm responsible for its destruction. 15 years ago, as the next step in his campaign to subjugate Eorzea, Gaius von Belsar attempted to seize control of Mordona. So massive was his force that all thought his victory a foregone conclusion. But an unlikely ally came to Eorzea's aid that day. Midgardsormr, legendary guardian of Silver Tear Falls, burst forth from beneath the waters of the lake and led a host of dragons against the Garlean airships overhead. In what would later become known as the Battle of Silver Tear Skies, the Great Worm felled countless airships before engaging the Agrius. In the ensuing struggle, the flagship's Cerulean engines failed and it tumbled into the lake below. Yet this victory came at a great cost, for the explosion which followed claimed the life of the Great Worm as well. That same explosion transformed Silver Tear Falls into the desolate wasteland it is today, draining the lake of its waters and crystallizing ether from mobs around. Yet a remnant of the lake remains, and at its center a constant reminder of that fateful day long ago. In accordance with Sir Amric's wishes, our Doman allies have been standing watch over the Keeper of the Lake. It would be wise to speak with them before investigating the wreckage yourself. Be careful, my friend. We know not what dangers await you within. Now then, let's not neglect our own tasks. There is much to be done and precious little time to do it. I wonder if Neathhogue has anything to do with this. I do wonder if Neathhogue is like involved with any of this at all. You're in luck, sir. I was about to send word to Revenant's Toll about the Garleans. Of late, I've seen small airships, likely from Castrum Sentry, come and go from the Keeper of the Lake. Though I cannot say for certain at this distance, I believe they may be salvaging something from within that wreckage. The Castrum supply lines have been cut for some time, and I'd wager they're desperately in need of spare parts and other equipment. So it's true then, the Ishgardians honestly feared the worm might rise again? Well, from here that seems rather unlikely, but if it's assurances they want, you've no choice but to inspect the corpse in its entirety. Easier said than done, given the creatures which inhabit the wreckage. Oh, and the aforementioned Garleans who won't take kindly to your presence. They're sure to fire upon an airship, so I'd advise a more stealthy approach. Take this boat and a few of your comrades to the base of the Agrius, and then climb to the top. That's the only viable approach, I'd say. Cool. Honestly, what a view, though. This is a beautiful view. I just wish there was, like, some lighting on said dragon corpse and everything, because that would be a wonderful view with the stars in the background. Oh. Thank you for the beats. Oh, that's so cool! I love it already. I love it already, just for that one shot. That one opportunity. The Keeper of the Lake. The music is pretty nice right off the bat. It breaks people. I love this music. I love this arena.
Who treadeth now upon my bones, and waketh me from slumber sweet?
Hello? Oh. Hey, man. Hey, man.
Thou hast forgotten the face of thy Lord. Remember, mortal, and fear me.
Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool. That is so cool. So cool. That was so cool.
By her gifts hast thou earned a moment's reprieve.
Okay, by her you mean Mommy Crystal. But he's still kicking. That was just a projection.
Speak, mortal, and I shall listen.
This is so cool. I'm gonna take a screenshot. I'm so sorry. I gotta take a screenshot. This is such a cool scene. The music really fits the vibe here, and then just,
Guided by a star.
I love the voice. The voice is amazing.
My people have heard the song. Ishgard shall burn. Sons must answer for their father's misdeeds.
Uh-huh.
We do not forget. We do not forgive.
Shaking head.
7 children did I sire. One now singeth of retribution.
Oh.
I rise to join in the chorus. Thou art powerless to silence us, mortal. Yet thou shalt not live to labor in vain. Thy reprieve is at an end.
Uh-huh. How you gonna do that, bud?
Trickery is thy shield. This frail, noble creature is not gifted, but chosen.
So cool.
Hearken to me, Hydaelyn. I remember, and I consent.
Uh-huh.
Fear not, mortal.
Consent to what? What do you remember?
I shall not harm thee.
Are you sure you're not harming me? Uh-huh. We haven't been here in a minute. Orange light for the orange crystal? No, no, that's not what it is. Okay. It's the darkness. Is it darkness? Where's their power being absorbed? Oh, this doesn't feel good. That didn't feel good. That didn't seem good at all.
Mayhap thou thinkest me an oath breaker. Thou art mistaken. If thou comest to harm, it shall be by another's hand, not mine. I did but strip thee of thy mistress's feeble
Why?
Thou didst profit much by her grace, but no more.
Wow. It's so cute.
The covenant binds me to thee.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I shall watch, listen, and wait. Fight and struggle, if it be thy will. Man hath ever coveted that which lieth beyond his grasp. I drink of her body, and thence doth mine own find new life.
What?
When it hath grown whole, the loyal and penitent shall rejoice. The dragon song heraldeth a beginning and an end.
The dragon song must have been what was the star thing. Okay, is the baby dragon like his eyes and ears out and about? You may summon Midgardsormr by selecting the corresponding entry within your minion guide under character in the main menu. What? Uh-huh. Midgardsormr, not the big one, the little one. Father of dragons, keeper of the lake, bane of the 14th Legion. While it is difficult to believe the Yom-Long pup could be any of these things, he assures you his current form is only temporary while he awaits the reconstruction of a new corporeal vessel. Midgardsormr was a king amongst kings who reigned for centuries on end. So Midgardsormr is just being like, this is temporary new form until he has a giant new form. You want the report. You converse with Midgardsormr? I swear, were anyone else to make such a claim, I would regard it with considerable skepticism. Sorry, I'm just making a little adjustment. Are we to understand that the worm lord did not perish and has in sooth lain dormant these past 15 years? Less a resurrection and more a rejuvenation, for he who dwelleth in eternity, years passing as moments. Though his words were ambiguous at times, one statement left little room for interpretation. My people have heard the song, Ishgard shall burn. Clearly an attack is imminent. We must share this information with Sir Amric immediately. However, we dare not divulge your conversation with Midgardsormr in its entirety. To even acknowledge that you heard the voice of a Dravanian is a grave but necessary risk. Lest we forget, men have been executed as heretics for declaring as much. For your own protection and for the sake of our tenuous relations with Ishgard, the truth cannot leave this room. That's fair. That's very fair. Understandable. As for how we shall present our revelation to Sir Amric's emissary, you may leave that to me. Pray remain here for now. Minfilia, hello? Is there something you're not telling us to work? Oh, we're holding back? It's so interesting that we have no dialogue here to know what we say. We just assume everything's been relayed, but apparently not everything you seem different somehow, just almost as if you were missing something important. Well, you see. 12 for Finn. Midgardsormr stripped you of the blessing of light. Are you alright? How do you feel? It's interesting that we didn't get an echo while we were at the lake. It kind of felt like Iceheart implied that we would get some kind of vision, but it's okay. Some clarity as to why the dragons, are at war. But they did say sins of the fathers. I see. It is a relief to hear that you are otherwise unharmed. It beggars belief that any being could possess the power to deprive you of her blessing. Midgardsormr made mention of a covenant, did he not? Yeah. One of the ancient myths regarding Silver Tear Falls states that when the waters came into existence, so too did the Great Worm. Oh. Althik and Nimia, brother of Time and sister Fate, decreed that Midgardsormr ever watch over the source from which all water and magic was said to flow. I wonder, what if this was the covenant of which he spoke, and 'twas not the gods with whom he treated, but Hydaelyn herself? Well, if he is watching over you as he claimed, mayhap you will have an opportunity to ask. Let us keep this matter to ourselves. I do not wish to burden our friends needlessly. Oh, hey, bud. Art thou a pawn or master of thy fate? He's just going to be popping in like this? Who are you, Strahd? What hast thou wrought by thine own hands, mortal? Are you just going to pop in just to say cryptic shit and then dip? I love that. I love that this is happening. I do. But also, what? Is it just like the Joker and Arkham Knight just popping in whenever for some commentary?
My friend, I can scarce believe it. You confronted the Worm Lord and lived to tell the tale.
Oh, now we get voice acting. Alfie.
I give thanks to Haloni for your preservation. It is our sole cause for gladness.
Haloni. It's not just Halone. Haloni. Thank you.
Your encounter with the Keeper of the Lake served to confirm our fears. A great worm has roared, and it makes little difference if it was one of the two in Eorzea or any other.
Huh. The one of the two in Eorzea or any other. So, there are 7 of them. So I wonder if that's, it. Alright, so 2 great worms in Eorzea. Is Midgardsormr one and then like Neithog the other? Or is Midgardsormr not counted in this? That's, I guess, little small details that I'm just curious about.
The Dravanians are coming.
Don't answer those questions.
I am told that Ishgard has magical defenses against Dravanian attack, though I am not privy to their exact nature. Will they be enough to repel a massive force?
Ishgard has weathered countless assaults over centuries. This will be no different.
This feels like it's gonna be different, though.
And now that you have confirmed the threat, none can ignore the Lord Commander's calls for the wards to be strengthened.
This feels like it's a lot more than it probably has ever been.
I dare not presume to speak for him, but I expect the Lord Commander would sing your praises. I must away, but we shall meet again soon.
Lucia, a pleasure as always. God, I love her armor. Her armor is so good.
Countless assaults weathered, and this will be no different? Why am I not convinced?
Yeah, you and me either, Alfie. This isn't just like, oh hey, the dragons are going to attack again. This is a full declaration of war.
Now that everything's calmed down a bit, relatively speaking I mean, I thought it might be a good time to share our progress on the weapon.
Uh-huh.
I believe we're on the verge of a breakthrough.
Uh-huh.
Well, don't keep us all in suspense.
Just in case anyone's forgotten, let's start by reviewing what we already know. So, an Ascian is an immortal because its soul doesn't return to the ethereal realm when its host is defeated. Instead, it flees to the place that lies between our world and the void. Therefore, the first step to permanently defeating an Ascian is preventing its soul from making this journey. And if you recall, when we last gathered here, I had verified that white auracite has adequate capacity to entrap the beings, albeit only briefly.
Which left the small matter of their extermination.
I do like this kind of sequence here.
Aye. To unmake an Ascian soul, one must needs smite it with a concentrated burst, or blade, of purest ether. However, we wanted for both the data and the means to forge such a weapon.
Short of experimenting on an actual Ascian, you see, there's no way to gauge how much ether its soul is made of. As such, we don't know what etheric density our blade needs to have in order for it to work.
So we'll just have to make the densest blade we can and hope for the best. Though that would require a lot of ether.
I'm with Ida. Just make it as big as we can and we'll see what happens.
Hang on a minute. Why didn't we think of this before? White auracite can hold an absolute heap of ether, can't it?
Oh, why are they doing this to Ida? Ida, we've already been over this and you already mentioned this before. I'm so sorry they're doing you like this.
Please tell me you're joking. God's sakes, Ida. I feel as though I'm reliving the same scene over and over with you. How many times do you need to be told that white auracite cannot store ether for long periods?
Oh, can we be nice to Ida about this?
Being intangible matter, ether is given to dispersion. Only in its crystallized form is it a stable source of energy. I will test you later on this, so see to it you do not forget.
Can we just be nice?
Right, yes. It's all coming back to me.
It's all coming back to me now. That's right, it is a new patch from when she mentioned it at the end of 2.4. Fair. Yeah, no, good point.
So our hopes rest on good old crystals again, do they? While they are certainly reliable, they leave something to be desired in the area of portability.
Indeed. I am reminded of the quantity of corrupted crystals required to thwart Leviathan, and the extraordinary lengths to which the Lamentsons went to transport them. What if it should prove that a similar quantity was needed to destroy an Ascian soul? Or still more?
Yeah.
I do not envy the poor sod who has to lug all of that around on the off chance that an Ascian appears.
I love that they're just dropping all this right here.
That's the very problem we set out to solve. And I reckon we've found the answer. If it isn't practical to lug around the ether we need, we'll just have to draw upon another source.
Uh-huh.
And the only viable source is the land.
Yeah?
If you mean to tap the Great River of Ether, know that it will entail considerable risk. Meddling with the currents may well induce a surge like to the one which despoiled Moenbryda.
Wait, what happened to Moenbryda?
Give me a bit more credit, will you? Why would we need to tap the river when there are veritable reservoirs jutting out all over the land?
Talking about the corrupted crystal formations.
Aye, I speak of corrupted crystals. It might be that their aspect is out of balance, but a crystal's a crystal. It contains ether, and we can help ourselves to it.
I like that by talking to talking to people as we go through the MSQ, we kind of saw Moenbryda have this discussion where she learned about the corrupted crystals. I do like that the ambient dialogue changes, but also that we can see certain things going on and the fruits of that later.
While corrupted crystals are indeed abundant, There is no guarantee that they will be in close proximity at a crucial moment.
Fair point.
But what if we don't need them to be? What if we could tap their power from afar? A malm away, say? If we could do that, we'd have ready access to ether aplenty in almost every corner of Eorzea.
Huh.
I've yet to put my theories to the proof, but I've got a good feeling about this. If no one has any objections, I'd like to see where this avenue leads.
I feel like we don't have any other options, but also it sounds really good. I'm all for it.
If you think it's worth your while, you have my blessing. But tell us, what are your theories? I, for one, am most eager to understand the process, however vaguely.
I thought you might say that, but no one wants to listen to boring old theories all day, do they? I know I don't. So with your permission, I'd like to try something a bit more hands-on. I've already built an etheric siphon especially for this purpose, and I've been meaning to try it out.
I love it. She's like, screw the theories. I have a new toy. Can I play with it?
Thing is, the profusion of corrupted crystals in Mordona makes it something of a high-risk testing ground. If anything goes awry with the siphon, it would be better if it didn't happen within spitting distance of quite so much ether. Ideally, I need an isolated specimen. Does anyone know where I can find one?
May I suggest northern Thanalan? There you will find corrupted crystals of middling size, standing a reasonable distance apart. Ideal for your needs, I should have thought. Oh, and if you do elect to visit the place, I should be much obliged if you would assist me in another matter while you are in the area.
Because that's where the 4th unit with Wilred and Aliane went. I think that's where they went.
Has something happened?
Uh-huh.
Movement has been observed at Castrum Meridianum.
Meridianum. I said that wrong.
During Operation Archon, the Alliance dealt the stronghold a heavy blow. Its facilities were extensively damaged, and its garrison reduced to a fraction of its former strength.
Uh-huh.
Not long after our forces withdrew, however, their ranks were replenished by reinforcements from Castrum's sentry. They now seek to rebuild, and to this end they have their sights set upon the ceruleum processing plant. Having lost the Empire's support, the 14th Legion lacks the resources to sustain itself. To them, this is a bid for survival, and they will doubtless fight like desperate men. Though I have dispatched the Crystal Braves, I fear their strength alone may not suffice to stay the Imperial assault. I would request the Scion's aid in the defensive effort.
By the Scion's aid, you mean me?
If I didn't know better, I'd say you were trying to inveigle us into fighting your battle with the promise of shiny crystals. Well then, consider me inveigled. I won't lie, the crystals you speak of sound perfect, so the Garleans have to go.
I'm not gonna lie, I've never heard the word inveigle before, and I'm very glad they did it with voice acting, and I didn't have to struggle to pronounce that, because that, I'm glad we got spared that, because that would have been a disaster.
Besides, we can't afford to beat about the bush. There's no telling when the Ascians will next appear.
Thine eagerness to hurl thyself into the jaws of danger cometh as little surprise. Exercise due caution, I prithee.
Though you have become a crystal brave, you are yet a scion, Alphino. We could hardly refuse you. Pray, join the Crystal Braves and lend them your support. Thangrid and Papalimo shall accompany you.
Pray. Pray.
Ida and Yashtola, in the meantime I would have you assist Moenbryda. Scout out the crystal clusters, that the testing may commence as soon as the Garlean threat has been eliminated.
If it please you, I shall continue mine own experiments on white Orisite.
Thank you, Eorzea. Everyone, pray see to your preparations and depart as soon as you're able. Go well, and be safe.
Pray. Pray. Oh, hey. Your duties take you to northern Thanalan, do they not? Yes. We too must say our farewells to the Rising Stones for a time. Flamin travels to Ul'dah, and we shall serve as her escort. Good, I'm glad she's not going alone. At my daughter's behest, I go to contact certain old acquaintances in the Gilded City. Oh. We are beset on all sides by civil unrest and imperial machinations, threatened by primals and troubled by dragons. We need all the allies we can muster. Many of my friends hold positions of power, you see, and it is my hope that they can be convinced to aid the Scion's cause. If past events have taught us anything, then we know that Eorzea must present a united front or we shall fall. Amen. Ah, how extraordinary that my little Ascilia is involved in such far-reaching affairs. I am proud that I might now stand at her side, not only as a mother, but also as a colleague. A colleague with influential connections, but I fear that Ul'dah has become a place of danger even for one so familiar with her streets. Bah, woe betide the blackguard that so much as glares in your direction, milady. Milady. I love Hoary Boulder. I shall be well protected, it seems. Shall we be on our way then? Let's go. I love him so much. He's such a good character. Commander Levieux sent word that you'd be coming. A veteran of your talents is most welcome. Not that I don't think we can handle the situation, mind you. I've learned a trick or two since that disaster with the Amalja. But returning to the task at hand. The Flames reconnaissance scouts have reported Imperial soldiers assembling at Rabon's push. Such a force is likely interested in only one thing, getting their hands on the resources found here at the processing plant. The Garleans could begin marching on us at any time. Pray speak with Lieutenant Edelstein that we might coordinate our counter-strategy. In the meantime, I will inform the others that you have arrived. No doubt it will be welcome tidings. Look at you, Wilred, not being brash with it all. Glad to have you with us, Swerk. As I'm sure Lieutenant Edelstein has explained, the Garleans have deployed a small force from Castrum Meridianum. There we go. Their main column assembles to the north near Dalamud's talons, but we've also spied several squads attempting to conceal themselves on the approach to the west. It'll be. They wish you to rush forth and commit to battle with the main column, leaving the detached force free to raid the plant and pillage supplies. Not much of a strategy, but these are desperate men. Captain Ilberd. Greetings, Scion. I understand the commander bids you and your fellows come lend a hand to the Braves. With such mighty heroes at its disposal, the Fourth should have little trouble contending with aught the Garleans might throw at them. But even you cannot be everywhere at once. The Third was getting restless holed up in Ul'dah, so I marched them out here to fill any holes in the plant's defenses and add their numbers to your counterattack. The reinforcements are welcome. We've enough soldiers now to divide our own forces and safely engage the enemy far beyond the walls. It will be best to avoid staging battle anywhere near this much ceruleum. Let's take this fight to the Garleans. A wise course indeed. I shudder to think of the consequences should any of these storage tanks be exposed to fire. If there are no objections, the Scions shall join the Fourth and give battle to this main column. Papalimo. Let's fucking go. You're with the Third, then Warrior of Light. Your job will be to intercept these squads hiding out in the west and prevent them from reaching the processing plant. I can do that. When you're ready to proceed, report to Lieutenant Yu. His scouts should have a rough idea of where the Imperials have concealed themselves by now. Oh, Yu.
Hold on, I won't be a second.
Okay.
The beast seemed peckish, so I gave it a taste of my axe.
I love her.
I know. As Urianger never tires of reminding me, an axe ill becometh the hand of a scholar. What can I say? I like axes. To hear my mother tell it, I came into this world holding one.
Dude, axes are cool, and that's a really dope axe. Yeah.
And it's not as if it stopped me picking up a quill, is it?
No?
I often think of the man who introduced me to the joys of learning. He's one of the reasons I decided to come to Eorzea.
Oh.
Him and my excruciatingly stiff childhood friend. Considering how unalike we are, it's a wonder we ever got on. The world's a strange old place, isn't it?
Interesting.
Aye, that ought to do it.
By the power of Grayskull, I have the power. Oh, so cool.
So far, so good. At these concentrations, it shouldn't matter too much if something goes awry. Just enough ether to make it interesting.
I love that.
Did you see that? The way the crystal glowed? The siphon works, I'm happy to say. With a few refinements, it should satisfy our appetite for ether. Which just leaves the small matter of forging our blade.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure how to go about it just yet, but I swear to find a way. I'll put a blade in your hands if it's the last thing I do.
Let's hope not. Let's hope it's not the last thing you do. That's what I mean.
He senses me. A useful talent.
What is this voice? Oh, it's sideburns.
Are they onto us?
Shit.
By your brand, I see you are an Archon of Sharlayan, keeper of knowledge, seeker of truth, meddler.
Nabrialis?
I don't know what the hell's you're saying, but I don't much like your tone.
Yeah, no, me either.
Your instincts serve you well. But come, be not unsettled on my account. That lovely brow was not made for frowns. But I waste my breath. Let me direct my words to one who understands them. We meet at last, warrior of light. I am Nabrialis.
Wow, I actually got it right.
And you have long been a thorn in my side. I suffered the overweening presence of Lahabrea that men might host the power of gods, only for you to undo my hard work.
Ooh, so you're the one that was getting all them primals summoned.
Oh, bugger.
Ooh!
Do settle down. You must concede that I acted in self-defense.
God, I hope she's okay.
But what's this? I do not sense the blessing of light.
God damn it, Midgard.
Oh dear. Could it be that frail Hydaelyn has forgotten her champion? This I did not foresee. Shorn of light as you are no longer a threat. And better yet, the seal is broken.
What seal?
Now is the time to claim the staff.
No!
With it in my grasp, I shall rise above them all and take my place at Lord Zodiac's right hand.
God, I hate him. No, Moon? Okay, you're
What
good.
did that bastard want with us?
We should probably go back to the Rising Stones now.
Nabrialis, he calls himself. With charm like that, I'll bet he has maidens falling at his feet. Unconscious.
We should probably go check on Minfilia.
But this staff. You say just talking about it had the bastard grinning like a brat on his name day. Must be quite a staff.
Uh-huh.
Oh, gods. He means Tupsimati, Master Louis Soir's staff.
That's what I've been saying.
Minfilia's in danger. We have to get back to the Rising Stones.
That's what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying. We're definitely not gonna make it in time. Why would we make it in time? It's no fun if we make it in time. You're here. Sorry. Master Louis Soir's staff is kept in the solar, isn't it? Quickly now. Huh?
So, you were able to divine my intent.
You
What
spoke
now,
out loud!
Warrior of Light? Ah, but that name is no longer fitting. You have become decidedly dull, and quite incapable of barring my entry.
So you're able to divine my intent. You said what your intent was. What do you mean I was able to divine it? You said it!
What do you mean?
You truly do not know? Then I suppose it is only right that I enlighten you.
Enlighten you.
The blessing of light kept you and your fellow meddlers safe. It was that which prevented my kind from entering your domain. My kind, I say, though it had no power over the likes of Elidibus and La Habrea. Being of this world, they could come and go as they please.
Oh.
I could only look on.
So those two, like, had possessed bodies, and that's why they could do it. But Nabrialis is not a possessed body. He is... Oh, no.
But I need look no longer. Now that the seal is gone, I mean to act. Unlike the others, I am not given to waiting. I shall take that staff and bring about the next rejoining.
The rejoining is what the students of Baldesion who disappeared were looking into.
Rejoining? Then it was your doing. The Isle of Val, the scholars, all of it.
Uh-huh. I really hate this dude. Hey, why are we not moving?
You will not harm her!
Yes, please, get in there.
Moenbryda!
Why must you insist on forcing my hand? Did you learn nothing from our last meeting? Ah, but I forget. My words fall upon deaf ears.
Oh, no.
The staff is but a broken relic, a memorial to the departed. What possible use could you have for it?
What use? You mean to say that all this time you kept the key, never knowing what it was you possessed? The staff Tupsimati, or rather the stone tablet it bears, is host to a great power. Together with the horn, it can be used to draw vast quantities of ether from its bearer's surroundings.
What horn?
How else do you think Louis Soir was able to invoke the power of the 12 without making them an offering of crystals?
I guess horn on top of the staff. Okay.
Summoning requires not only prayer, but a profusion of ether. Even a child knows that.
If I did not know before, you may be certain I do now. But above all, I know that we cannot allow this staff to fall into your hands. I will die before I let you take it.
Insufferable woman. I would happily end your miserable life here and now. Alas, Elidibus would never let me hear the end of it.
Okay, okay.
Very well. If you will not part with the staff, I will take you too.
No. No! No! Why are we just standing there? Quit just standing there! Go! What are we standing for?
After them! Quickly! Before the rift closes!
Hey, you better survive, Moenbryda. Hey, quit staring at... Run. Run. Jump in. Jump through the portal. The chrysalis. Oh. Oh. I guess that's why we're just standing there. Ooh, okay. Well, this is a cool. Whoa, is this where they were? Where we've seen like some of their cutscenes at? I don't like you. You're gross. Ascian D's. Are you good? Are you okay? I don't think we brought the staff though.
Thank the 12.
Oh, we probably got the staff. No, we have it. He's just reforming a new body? Are you kidding me?
You may have bested me this day, but what of the next? What of all the days to come?
It just pops right back. Like, I at least thought there'd be some respawn time, more than 30 seconds.
Remember, light no longer holds sway here. I may return whensoever I wish, again and again and again. Eventually, you will falter, and the staff will be mine. Until next time, scions.
Again and again and again. Do it. Do it.
There will be no next time. This is the end.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
What trickery is this? No. No. You cannot. No.
No. Okay.
Use Tube Samati to gather ether. Quickly, before he breaks free.
Come on. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Concentrate. Call to mind the time you struck down La Habrea with the Blade of Light.
Oh. Oh.
Why won't it work? Is it because we lack the blessing of light?
Damn it. So much ether. And it still isn't enough.
Fools! No mortal prison can contain me! I shall make you pay for your insolence!
God, I hate his voice. Come on. Come on, twerk. Come on, twerk. Come on, twerk.
Please, Mother Heidelin, hearken to our plea. Lend us your divine light. Why can you not hear us? Do our words no longer reach you?
Come on, come on, come on.
If only we had a bit more ether.
Moenbryda, you good? Don't do anything reckless now.
Moenbryda, what are you doing?
Master Louis Soir, understand now. The choice you made.
Hey.
In death, there is life. Farewell, Eorzea. You damned old coot.
Hey. No. What is she?
Moenbryda! No! You mustn't!
What? No! It cannot end! I am eternal! I am immortal!
No, you're not.
Moenbryda. She's gone. You did it, my friend. The Ascian is dead. This device is a legacy of Moenbryda's toils and sacrifice. I shall hold on to it for safekeeping.
Minfilia, are you all right?
I am.
Oh, we were surveying northern Thanalan when we received the distress call. We returned as swiftly as we were able.
It seems you have everything in hand, however.
Not quite.
What happened here? Where is Moenbryda?
She gave her life to temper the Blade of Light. I have no words.
Rather than await the inevitable, she took her fate into her own hands.
Does Eorzea know?
Oh, I don't want to be there when Eorzea finds out. I don't want to be there when he finds out.
My friend, there is something I must tell you.
I heard all, my lady. The moon sinketh, taking her leave of the heavens, yet her passing heraldeth the coming of a new day. Moenbryda hath fulfilled her destiny, hath she not? Long ago, far across the seas in the Sharlayan motherland, Moenbryda and I did study under the sage tutelage of Master Louisoix. Full oft did he impress upon us that knowledge existeth to serve the greater good. This sentiment, however, was contrary to the nation's policy of neutrality, which censured intercedence in the affairs of foreign lands. In spite of vehement opposition, he founded the Circle of Knowing, and journeyed hither to the heart of Eorzea. Through his noble sacrifice, was the realm spared its doom. Yet this great soul, whom all should rightly have honored, was branded a pariah in his own land. His peers did accuse him of forsaking his duty as a man of learning, and of meddling in the course of history. When he left Charlayan behind, Master Louisoix gave no word to signal his intent to Moenbryda. Close as they were, as master and disciple, she was deeply wounded by the sudden exclusion from his confidence. Above all, however, she was confused. Try as she might, she could ill comprehend her master's motive. The slanders that were heaped upon him after his passing served only to inflame the turmoil within her. For years upon end, she knew not what to believe. Torn as she was twixt the man whom she revered and the man who forsook her and his duty both.
The Louisoix I knew would never forsake his duty, much less one of his own.
This I know full well, my lady. 'Twas not for want of love that Master Louisoix hid his intent. He but desired that Moenbryda discover her own path, free of the shadow of his influence. Long did I contemplate revealing the truth to her, and long did I hold my peace. After all, was it not Master Louisoix's wish that she come to the truth unaided? I told myself it was, and resolved to let her suffer. Knowingly did I deny my friend the comfort she craved. And now she hath gone to her rest, with doubt still in her heart.
Oh, buddy.
Speakest thou in earnest? Did Moenbryda truly come to understand Master Louisoix's will before the end? The realization hath set her free. She may now find the peace which hath for so long eluded her. Oh, Moenbryda, my dearest, how I shall miss thee.
I just want to give him a big ol' hug.
Moenbryda gave her life that we might possess the means to defeat the Ascians. Her sacrifice must not be in vain. Let us continue her work on the Blade of Ether and see it to completion.
My lady, I would mourn Moenbryda in mine own way. I beg your permission to return to the Waking Sands.
Of course, my friend. Take all the time you require. We shall be here should you have need of us.
Man, I really liked her. She was such a good character, and I was really excited for her, like, to be in the game more. Never have I seen Eorzea so utterly defeated. No one should be made to suffer such grief. We shall gather in the Charlayan manor to celebrate Moenbryda's life and mourn her passing. Damn, what a view.
Forgive me, Moenbryda. Had I been quicker or wiser, but I was not, and you paid the price. But you would not suffer us to wallow in our sorrow, would you? You would tell us to pick ourselves up and get on with it. And so we shall. We shall defend this realm and her people to the last.
Life for death. A fair exchange.
I forgot about you.
Other bargains will be struck.
Yeah, this is your fault. You know that, right? This is your fault. Wait, did no one else see the baby flying dragon right next to us? 'Tis as if a dagger has been thrust into my breast. But 'tis a pain we must learn to bear if we are to forge ahead with our duty. The battles we have fought have taken the lives of so many. Louisoix, Moenbryda, our fellows of the Waking Sands. Their spirit and dedication to our cause, however, will never be lost as long as we rise to fight once more. I hardly need remind you of this, of course. 'Tis for my own benefit that I repeat these words, a reaffirmation of mine own chosen path. If I do not rebuild the foundation of my resolve, I am like to collapse in a fit of weeping. My apologies again, Twerk. There is no other to whom I could display such weakness. It's not weakness, Minfilia. It's grief. I just want to give her a hug. You are my pillar of strength, and I fear I shall have need of your steadfast presence in the days to come. A victory won, a comrade lost. To honor the fallen, the living forge ever on, towards the light of a new day.